4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello and welcome to TrojanVision for the week that was, covering the news and events for the week ending Friday, August 26, 2022. I'm your host, Aaron Taylor. Well, August 17th marked the first day of classes for Troy University. It's the start of a school year that the administration says should begin to feel more like college life before the pandemic. Taylor Marie has the details.
Semester returns. Organizations promote their colors and students reunite with one another after their summer breaks. Senior Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs Lance Tatum says the summer orientation program increased by 6%, resulting in more students on campus.
We think that the message that we've been repeating over the last 2 years about quality and affordability is really beginning to resonate with parents and students. All of that has really resulted in more students being on campus this fall.
A post-COVID school year made the first day appear to be more traditional.
This year really feels different. There's a lot more excitement in the air, a lot more freedom for students to move around.
Tatum compared it to college life before COVID intervened.
When you walk on campus and when you go to class and when you go to events around campus, it will feel very much like 2019 fall.
For SGA President Ava Carnaza, it's a new era of student interaction.
We're stepping into a new era because it's not all the hybrid classes are kind of going away and everyone's on campus again. So I'm excited to get, the community back where it was before COVID.
Faculty and staff have also prepared for more student engagement this fall.
We have been very deliberate over this last year in looking at our faculty and student engagement areas.
Student interaction and engagement are important to Troy faculty and staff, but it's not their only goal.
The chief goal is to serve our students and to give them the best collegiate experience that we can, not only inside the classroom, but outside the classroom as well.
Taylor Marie, Troy, TrojanVision News.
And Troy University started classes with a new set of COVID guidelines. However, as Claudia Peppenhorst shows us, they come with far fewer restrictions than in the past.
Troy University is getting closer to a pre-pandemic normal with the latest set of guidelines pertaining to COVID-19.
Beginning this fall, what we've done is we've taken a position that we will follow the guidelines and recommendations from the CDC. So there are no special exceptions or considerations to make at a state level or local level. In all practical purposes, we are as close to a pre-COVID condition that we've been since the spring of 2020.
One of the biggest changes to university policy relates to individuals who have been exposed to COVID but have had no positive test.
The most significant change in our procedure is that in the past, if a student, faculty, or staff member was exposed to someone who was positive with the COVID-19 virus, then they would fill out a form through the Dean of Students and they would go into a quarantine situation. And that period of quarantine would be considered an excused absence or an illness day for the faculty or staff. Moving forward, we will not require those who are exposed per CDC guidelines to quarantine. What we're following is the CDC's guidelines of wearing a quality mask and being mindful of your symptoms, and if you start feeling bad, then don't come to class and don't come to work.
And if a student tests positive, the procedures are still in place for reporting to the university.
So if a student tests positive, then what they would do is they would fill out the form through the Dean of Student Services office, and the days that they are out because of their positive status would be excused as a sick day. The amount of days that are part of that excused period are per the CDC guidelines, and they've pushed that down to 5 days.
Tatum says that all of these changes signal the light at the end of the tunnel as it pertains to COVID on campus.
I think what it would suggest to students and faculty and staff is that at least at the moment, right, we always say at the moment, things are in a very stable situation when it comes to the COVID-19 virus and how it is impacting what we do and how we do. You know, we're still allowing people, if you want to wear a mask to campus, if you want to wear a mask in class, you're perfectly capable and willing to do that, but it's not a required situation. And, you know, we've taken restrictions away from distancing and from gathering, and so it really is back to what we would consider a pre-pandemic situation.
And Troy University school year kicked off with an event designed to give Troy's newest students a chance to learn more about their new college home. Claudia Peppenhorst has all the action from the annual Odyssey Convocation.
Troy University welcomed in the new semester and the new freshmen with the 2022 Odyssey Convocation in Trojan Arena Sunday afternoon. The convocation featured a performance from the Sound of the South and a keynote address from guest speaker Tyler Vaughn, who says he was humbled to be asked back to Troy.
When I got the call, I was just humbled by it. Honestly, I didn't really know how they found the criteria, but I was just happy to be able to come back and see some of the people who have made such a big impact on me.
Vaughn is a 2014 graduate from Troy, and during his time at college, he played for the Trojan baseball team and was a part of 2 Sun Belt Conference championship teams. During his address, he spoke of his adversities in college and hopes to prepare students for what's to come and how to handle their hardships.
I think the main thing for me is just understanding that we're going to face adversity. I think so many times we want everything to just be like a nice smooth sailing, and real life just isn't that way. And so I want people to be prepared when they face hardship, to know how to handle it and know that it's okay, and hopefully be prepared to find the things that matter most to them in that.
For the freshmen who just moved into their new home and are beginning their first semester here at Troy, Vaughn taught them a mantra to use in their everyday life, one that he used during his time at Troy as well. Just go compete, reminding them that things may not always go their way, but it's important to put forth their best effort.
I think it's just a mantra. You know, we show up, we give it our best effort every time. Sometimes that's going to be enough, and sometimes it may not be, but our goal is not to dictate that. We just have to do the best we can, and hopefully that'll help guide us in where we go in the future, and if some doors close, then others will open. But I think ultimately it's just kind of a mantra of trying to do the absolute best you can in whatever you do.
The convocation ended with the annual Lighting Up the Torch, as well as teaching new freshmen the Troy fight song accompanied by the Sound of the South. Claudia Peppenhorst, Troy, TrojanVision News.
We'll take a short break, but when we return, we'll see how Troy Student Government Association is working to get international students more involved in on-campus elections. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
You got me believing that I can seize the day. You got me hooked on a feeling that I can do anything if I give my heart to it. If I give my heart to it.
Mom, can we get some ice cream?
Please, Mom, please.
No, we're having dinner soon.
Please.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of children in foster care who will take you just as you are.
Hundreds of female college students running and screaming through the campus might seem like cause for alarm. However, there's one instance when it's a part of great tradition. Bid Day is an exciting and energetic time for young women to find out what sorority they'll be a part of during their time in college. Georgia Clark has the details.
No matter the letters you throw, Rush Week is the biggest event of the year for college Greek life, and each sorority at Troy University earned new members this past Saturday at Bid Day. Bid Day wraps up Rush Week and sends all of these young women running to their new houses, where they hope to reap the benefits of sisterhood.
The community, the sisterhood, the reliability, the passion, the support system that they provide is unthinkable. I'm probably just all my new friends. I'll have so many new sisters and just people to have my back through everything.
233 women went through Troy's formal recruitment this year, and current members of the organizations are looking forward to welcoming these women into their ranks.
I'm really looking forward to getting a little. I'm really looking forward to give all these new girls, the freshmen, the experience that I had last year. It has been the best experience for me so far, and I just can't wait for them to experience it too.
Though the new sisters have already gone through a week of interviews and events to get them to the door, they still have to prepare for the initiation process of their new house. But on Saturday, those were worries for another day, and all they needed to do was celebrate and reflect on what their bid in the past week meant to them.
It felt amazing because you always have this dream of wanting to go your perfect place, and when you found that place, that's all you wanted it to be today when you opened that card. This week has been incredible. It's almost undescribable. The amount of love and support from each of these houses, and every single girl I've talked to all over Sorority Hill has been nothing but gracious and supportive.
Troy University Student Government Association will hold its first election of the school year on Wednesday, and the SGA is taking steps to make sure as many students as possible know how to participate in the election. Simon Schuessler shows us how.
Imagine moving from across the world for college to a place you're unfamiliar with. Different customs, food, and culture are some of the first challenges that come to mind. Troy is often tagged as Alabama's international university, which means that the university faces these issues every year with the incoming international population. But one perhaps overlooked aspect is how to vote for your best interests in an election.
They come from different countries where their election processes are a little bit different than ours, and especially when they come to this campus, they don't really know SGA, and that's on us, and so he really wanted to build that connection with them.
One of those ways will be an informational table set up during next week's Senate vacancy election to help any questions students might have about voting.
The booth is hopefully going to be in the international office, which is more accessible to international students because even domestic students don't really know where the SGA office is. It's kind of upstairs in TC. It's a little bit hard to find, and so that's going to be more acceptable to them. And for our elections, our vacancy election is going to be on the 31st.
While there has always been a designated international representative for the SGA, Vickers says they want students to look at other ways to be involved with SGA.
We have a seat for the international students, but we really, really want more students to run for their college or their housing district, and this will maybe get them a little bit more involved in SGA and help us have more international students represented in the Senate.
Troy University is home to more than 1,000 international students from over 60 nations across the world, and approximately 75 languages are spoken across campus. Simon Schuessler, Troy, TrojanVision News.
The artist known for some pretty famous sculptures around campus currently has some of his other art on display in the International Arts Center. As Claudia Peppenhorst shows us, time is running out for visitors to check out the work of Larry Strickland.
The International Arts Center will soon be saying goodbye to the exhibit People in Time and Places by artist Larry Strickland. Strickland is no stranger to Troy University's campus, with his artwork being featured in the past. But IAC Director Carrie Jackson says they are always happy to welcome his artwork back to campus.
People in Time and Places is an exhibit featuring Larry Strickland's paintings. And Larry Strickland has been shown in the IAC previously. He showed his sculpture works that are made of recycled wood and different stones. And so he also has one of his sculptures that showed in the IAC over at the Music Building.
The exhibit features artwork that spans throughout Strickland's life. The artist took inspiration from places and people in his life, but always added a personal touch, no matter the setting.
These paintings span throughout Larry's career, and so they reflect different times of his life, but he also jumps back in time a little bit. The one you see behind me does feature almost an old setting of these children in front of the house, and so he does use imaginary landscapes, but he will insert his children as the children in his works. But you also see some of his paintings are urban landscapes, so that's a little more commercial looking, but then some of the paintings are more intimate, showing his children and other people that are important to him.
But just because this exhibit is leaving the IAC soon doesn't mean Strickland's art will be leaving campus. There is one piece of his work on campus that any Troy student can recognize.
Everyone sees Hector, who is on our main quad, and Hector is the face of our marketing, and Larry Strickland is the artist responsible for him. So that is the main piece of art that you will find on campus for him.
The People and Time and Places exhibit will close on August 28th. Claudia Peppenhorst, Troy, TrojanVision News.
We're going to take another quick break, but when we come back, we'll get to see how students got to know their deans over ice cream. Coming up after this, so stay tuned.
We all dream, but dreams quickly become distant memories unless we do something about it. Do everything in our power to learn to lead. At Troy University, we teach everyone to be leaders in their field. We're dedicated to teaching a new generation to lead change.
In the first week of school, many students were still getting to know their way around campus, but Troy students had a chance in their first week to connect with some upper-level university administrators. Mackenzie Foster shows us how.
Troy Trojans are making their way onto campus for the new semester. The Welcome Week Committee hosts a few events to get new and returning students involved with Trojan campus life. One event in particular was the Ice Cream with Deans chat that happened on Thursday. Students were able to come and have casual conversations with Troy University deans from different academic departments while enjoying a sweet treat. The Welcome Week Committee wanted to give students an event that would allow them to get to know the people who are here to help them.
Definitely want them to feel more comfortable and being able to come up to people such as the deans or professors, so on and so forth, just so they realize that there's help here at Troy. There's a lot of people who are here for you.
While students are able to talk and make connections with their professors on a daily or an almost daily basis, it was important for some of the deans to make an appearance at the ice cream chat in order to show students that they are just as easily accessible and open to listening to students. Dr. Lance Tatum, the Senior Vice Chancellor of Academic Affairs, says that the ice cream chat gave the deans a chance to be more casual with students.
Many students look at a dean like they looked at their high school principal, somebody that is not really a person, not somebody that you can just talk to. These are real people. These are people that have lives. They're kind. They're interested in the success of students. They love this university, and so this is a setting. It's informal. It's not in an office, not in a classroom, and it gives students a chance who just want to have a casual conversation with the dean.
Some students may think that speaking to a dean can be intimidating, but with the Ice Cream with Deans chat, students were able to move out of their comfort zones and talk to the people who were interested in their opinions and futures.
I'm College of Communication and Fine Arts, and I really had a great conversation with my dean, and he cared about what I could do to help him and what he could do to help me. He said this is a win-win situation, like we can both help each other out here, and that really helped me a lot.
This year's Welcome Week will conclude on August 27th. For more information on the upcoming events that the committee will host, you can visit their Instagram page at Troy University Welcome Week.
While getting to know deans is important, students had a chance to learn about one another through a Welcome Week activity. Emily Clegg has the story.
On Tuesday evening, Troy University students had the opportunity to participate in the Chill with Friends game night held by Troy University's Welcome Week Committee.
Tonight, students were able to enjoy playing games with their friends as well as a chill treat.
The theme for this year's Welcome Week is Friends Like the TV Show. The Welcome Week Committee's goal for the week is to make incoming freshmen and returning students feel as if they are a part of the Troy family.
Like, we have a very big incoming freshman class, so we just want them to feel welcome when they come to Troy. Troy is a really big home, really big family, so we want them to just start out their first 2 weeks here at Troy just really special with different events.
For one student that participated in Tuesday night's event, it allowed her to get closer to her new roommates.
Well, we're like all roommates and stuff, like all my friends over there, so we were kind of bored, and then one of the girls was like, oh, they're having ice cream and stuff in the TC ballrooms tonight, so I was like, okay, let's go. We didn't really know each other before, so like going to like all these events and stuff and like having fun together, it's like got us to like know each other more.
The Welcome Week Committee will continue to host these events throughout the week, and anyone is welcome to come.
On Thursday is our silent disco event, so you guys should come out to that. That's going to be really, really fun.
Emily Clegg, Troy, TrojanVision News.
The University Activities Council held their first movie night of the semester Wednesday night. While it was originally planned to be in Veterans Memorial Stadium, the UAC didn't let a stormy night of rain on their fun. Belle Johnson has the story.
Wednesday night, the University Activities Council held their first movie night of the year with a showing of Marvel Studios' Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. UAC's Public Relations Coordinator, Caitlin Blackman, says the UAC is just getting started this semester.
We're actually bringing movie nights back. We're going to try to have at least 2 movies a month, and this is our first one. Unfortunately, we were supposed to have an event, but unfortunately, it rained.
Students who braved the weather were able to come hang out with their friends and also have a fun opportunity to meet new people.
I'm just enjoying the atmosphere here, like just go to the parties here and just go to events as well, like this one. So it's fun to hang out with friends as well and meet new people.
After students cheer for their favorite characters, they and faculty alike can look forward to more UAC events in the coming weeks.
Our event next week, we'll have Step Tease. It'll be at the amphitheater. It's basically where the MPHC organizations are going to come and they're going to perform a little teaser for, just showing what their organization is all about.
Belle Johnson, Troy, TrojanVision News.
It's time for our last break. When we return, we'll get a preview of the Trojan volleyball season. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
For over 70 years, Smokey Bear has asked you to use fire responsibly.
Fire is due to an unattended campfire. Go time.
Here's how you can stay on the front lines of preventing wildfires. Always watch your campfire. Before leaving, drown it, stir it, drown it again, and feel that the fire is out cold.
Oh, bullseye!
And you won't need a visit from these guys.
Copy that.
You can be Smokey's wingman when enjoying nature and prevent wildfires. Visit SmokeyBear.com for more fire prevention tips.
The Trojan volleyball team starts their season this weekend. We'll get a preview of their season from head coach Josh Lauer in this week's Trojan Talk. Hello and welcome to Trojan Talk. I'm your host, Aaron Taylor. With me today is the head coach of the Trojan volleyball team, Josh Lauer. Josh, thanks for joining us here today.
Aaron, it's great to be back.
You're here, so that means volleyball season right around the corner, and I know you've got to be excited. A lot of changes to the Sun Belt environment, but before we get into some of that kind of stuff, let's just talk about the team itself, because you've got some interesting dynamics this year, especially when it comes to upper and lower classmen coming in.
Yeah, 6 new freshmen, very athletic and talented, and it's been fun. We've had to do some slower things in practice than we've had to do the last few years, just so that the new freshmen can learn drills and things like that. But man, they're super competitive and athletic and have really kind of rejuvenated our upperclassmen a little bit and made volleyball even more fun than it already was. But we got 8 returners that we're really excited about as well, including 3 fifth-year seniors who are taking advantage of their COVID year. Amara Anderson obviously is, we're very excited that she's coming back. She's right on the verge of setting the all-time assist record. Halston Hillier's coming back, and then Isabella Mitchell. And, Izzy had a great spring and really is going to help our young defensive specialist group. So we're really excited about, just the mix that we have. We had the same kind of core for about 3 years. And so, I think it's rejuvenated all of us this year to have a little bit of new life.
And of course, you say having those super seniors with such a young team has got to be an additional benefit on the coaching side to have that experience on the court that they can look to.
Yeah, no doubt. We have some great returners and upperclassmen who are wonderful models. Ashley Genver, Julia Brooks, Tori Hester, Savannah Poling, Jess LaPresti. I mean, we really have high character, great model upperclassmen for our younger players. And they really just embrace our younger players too. They're great big sisters, and they really help mentor them both on and off the court.
And of course, one of the big things that's happened this year is because of the conference. Conference changes, added new teams. So I know that has changed the way things are scheduled and changed the division. So you're looking at a different competition type level and preparing for teams and things like that. Talk about how that Sun Belt shakeup has changed the way that you guys prepare and look at competition.
Yeah, for sure. So we're moving to the West, and the West is going to be extremely tough. The top 2 teams from last year, South Alabama and Texas State, we were one of the better teams on the East, and we come over. And so I think the West dynamic is going to be really fun and challenging. Texas State has kind of been the cream of the crop the last few years. South got over on them last year, and so that's going to be really fun. But the addition of, the new teams, especially JMU, was a top 50 team in the country. I mean, so Sun Belt volleyball was already really competitive nationally, but we got better. And, now you have to be a top 50 team in the country to win the Sun Belt Conference. And so that's exciting, but it's definitely a new challenge, and it's led us to schedule much more aggressively in the non-conference this year so that we're prepared to take on, the rigors of what Sun Belt Conference play looks like now. And, we felt that we needed to get after it a little bit more in the non-conference and play some more physical teams, because that's what we're going to see, and that's what we're going to need to compete with to win a conference championship in November.
And of course, one of those opportunities gives you some national exposure right out of the belt there. Heading over to Georgia and going to get some national exposure, but playing some top level teams there to start things off.
Yeah, absolutely. We open up the season Friday the 26th. We're live on the SEC network against Georgia. It'll be one of the marquee matches in all of college volleyball that night. And so it's exciting that we can be in that spot. I think our players are really excited to be in that environment and be challenged that way. Georgia's well coached, and they're looking to get back into the NCAA tournament themselves. And then the next weekend we go to LSU for a rematch with them, and then play Penn State and Iowa State as well. So, like I said, a very challenging non-conference schedule.
And so how do you feel things are going to play out conference-wise for you? Obviously, I know you want to win, but looking at the way the dynamic has changed, how do you feel that y'all are going to compete this year?
Yeah, I mean, I think that we've gained a lot of respect amongst the coaches. I think we do have a good core veteran group back. Looking at Julia Brooks, who was a preseason all Sun Belt selectee. Amari Anderson's been one of the top 2 or 3 setters in the conference every year. And so Tori Hester has shown that, athletically and physically, she's one of the best outside hitters in the conference. And so I think we're excited. I don't want to give anybody any bullet board material, but we're really looking forward to this season. And, but we know what's ahead of us. There are really good teams. Southern Miss is well coached as they come in. We have the crossover match with Marshall this year. We played them a couple years ago, and it was a very competitive match. So, there's going to be some good volleyball on the road, but there's going to be some really good volleyball in Trojan Arena this year.
And let's talk about when can folks see you guys for the first time in Trojan Arena?
First time in Trojan Arena, September 15th against Alabama State. We'd love to see everybody there for sure.
All right. Well, here's hoping folks turn out for an exciting match. Trojan Volleyball in Trojan Arena is just a good show, good bang for your buck. To go check out the volleyball team in Trojan Arena. Good luck with the season, especially with all this new changes of the conference. Thanks for joining us today, Josh.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Thanks. And thank you for joining us on today's edition of Trojan Talk.
And that was the week that was. To find out what's happening on a daily basis, you can tune into TrojanVision News at 5, 6:30, and 10:30, Monday through Friday.
Or you can visit us anytime on the Troy Trojan Vision news blog at today.troy.edu/TrojanVision to see online content from Troy Trojan Vision News anytime. And of course, until next time, we hope you have a good week.